Okay, so let's start today's session. So it's Pranav from DPS Diary. So today we are going to cover about Sybase servers and backup servers, run file, interface file, binaries and its locations, and how do we use different options in the run file and also in the backup server like run file. And we will also see some directories that are very important and we should know about it. Okay, so I've made list of that, so we'll cover all of that. Okay, so let us see the servers first of all. So right now let me show you where I am right now. So I am in the OPT Sybase ASC16 install. This is where my server is running, right? So you can run the command show server and you can see. So I have here two servers running. I mean two instances of ASC2 and one is ASC1. So right now I have started with the trace. So let me shut down and start normally so that I could show you the options. Okay, so let me shut it down. Okay, so now if you do show server, you will see only one instance of server running, which is ASC2. So what all things we'll see? So see, run server file, as you know, it is stored in the install directory, but that's again like custom. It's not hard and fast that it will remain like it will remain there only. It could be somewhere else also. It could be customized. Okay, and then log file also you can have your own custom thing. So those things you can specify here. If you do the cat of that, you can see the details. Okay, so you can see here, this is data server. Okay, this is the path for master data file. Okay, then this is the path for error log. Okay, and then this is configuration -c for configuration. Okay, and then these are properties, and this is the I, which is actually the interface file, and this is the server name. Okay, so this is the like how it looks like normally or without doing much customization. And if you see the backup file, so backup is here. Okay, so in backup file you will see the error log path. Okay, error log, which is on the backup log. Then you have interfaces detail. Okay, and then you can have one more option here. This is server name, which is shared memory, that is with -m. So while taking the backup, you can configure -m in the run file and it will use more memory as per the availability of memory on your server. Okay, so before going into the backup file, let me show you what all things are commonly which is used. So first is single user mode. Okay, then trace flag, and if in case you forgot the password, these three are the ones which is commonly used. There are many exhaustive options actually, but I'm not going to cover all of them. That's because that's not really in use, right? So let me show you. Actually, I have already prepared the files here. So cat, so this is the one for running into single user mode. Yes. Okay, so if you see here at the end you have -m, small m. For the replication server you have to use -M for starting into the single user mode. So this is single user mode database server, not the database. You can have data server in single user mode, and you can also have database in a single user mode. Database is a DB option which you can change at the DB option level, right? And this is at the server level, so you need to do the change at the run file level, right? So now let us start this. Right now, as you know, it's not running, so only ASC2 is running. We have to start ASC1. So what we'll do, we'll start the server. Okay, so let us use this one. Okay, 1%. So database is starting now. Okay, so it is up now. So you can run SQL and log in here. Okay, so it is coming. You can see all databases here, right? Now what we'll do is we'll open another session and we'll try to log in into this server. And it won't connect because our database is right now in the single user mode. Our server is in the single user mode. So this is how you use the -m option to keep database in single user mode. This is mainly done for the maintenance stuff, or not maintenance in the sense like normal maintenance, but when you have a issue with your server, you need to fix master database, or you have some kind of corruption. So those extraordinary scenarios, not a normal scenario when you run maintenance job on the weekly basis or on the like nightly basis, right? So it's not that way. So I talked about the DB option. So I have a user DB here, right? So let me show you how to do that database into single user mode. So use master sp_db option user DB, right? And then single user, and you can do true. So this should set this option to single user. Okay, so it is turned on for database user DB. So now use user DB, go checkpoint. Actually server itself is in the single user mode, so I can't have another session, so it doesn't make sense to keep database in single user mode again. But when database is in multi-user mode, that time you can keep on database in single user and nobody else can access that database at that point of time, right? So I will show you that as well. So let me change the database option first, and then let me shut it down. So sp_db option user DB, and then single user and false. Okay, it is turned off. So use user DB, go and checkpoint. This is done. Now shut it down. Let me show you DB option. Actually I have already showed, I think, in one of my session, but we'll do it one more time, no problem. So this shut down. So now let us start normally. So start server -f, and normally which is run_asu1 and ampersand which is to run in the background, right? It's coming online now. Yeah, online. So now let us log in. Okay, so now you can log in from other place also. So let me show you that. Now it's in multi-user mode, right? Now let me show you the other thing which I talked about. So use master, go sp_db option user DB, single user and true. Oh, single user, my mistake. sp_db option user DB, single user, true. Okay, so it is done. Use user DB, go and checkpoint. So you are in this database right now. Select db_name. Okay, now let's log in here. We already logged in, I think. Now check the DB right now. You should be in master. Now try to use that database. See, it's already open and can have only one user at a time. So this is what I was talking about, single user for database and single user for the server, right? So let us log off from here now. And now let us change this option, SP under, let's change database first, because DB option you cannot change by being in any other database, you should be in the master database. DB option, user DB, single user, false. Okay, it is turned off. So now use user DB, go and checkpoint. Okay, now shut down. Now we'll see the next option. So we talked about -m option. So now let us talk about the forgot password, right? So let us do that. So but one thing you have to keep in mind, this forgot password will display the password only at the console level. It will not write into your error log. So you have to copy from here. Okay, so let me start the server again. Start server -f. So I have put it here. Let me show you the content first before really running this. So how do we do that? Copy. So it is at nothing but at the end you will see -p and then SA. SA is the account for which we want to reset the password. Okay, so that's how we use this option. -f run underscore ASU1 underscore p. Okay, so it will start. You will see that it will display the password here. Okay, this is the password. You can see this here. Let us put the password here, and then this is done. Let us log into this one now. MySQL -s ASE1 -USA. Okay, and put the password here, and you will be able to log in, right? So this is how it works. Now we can reset the password. So sp underscore password, current password, and let us change for convenience. Let us put as Sybase. Okay, so it is done. So password is changed. Now if you want, you can log in with your changed password and it will work. Okay, so this one is also done. Now let me show you for the trace flag. Okay, so let us shut it down first. Okay, so here I have kept one file wherein I have a trace flag 11889, which is used when you use Linux 8.8 and Sybase ASC 16 before SP03 PL08, I think, or PL08. You get this issue and you have to use this trace flag. Okay, so let me show you. So here I have used at the end, if you can see, -t, which is 11889. Okay, so let us start the server. -f, use this file. And sorry, I did not copy it. Okay, so you can see here active trace flag 11889. If you could see active, yes, So it will appear in the error log. You can find if there is any trace flag enable, you can search for this keyword. I have showed you how to search for the keyword or how to search for any pattern in any file, right, in any log file or any file. So you can do that also, and you can see. So here it is starting now. Okay, so it is logged in. So basically what I was telling is, you can open this file, do view of AAC1.log, right, and you can search with the question mark active trace flag, right. So you first is no active trace flag, that was before. So if you do next, we'll do next, no active trace flag, no active trace flag, no active. So many times I have started it, so I think it's better to search for 11889, and you see here active trace flag 11889, right, and you can see the next entry. Yes, it is here. Okay, so this is how it works with the trace flag. So now if you do show server, you will be able to see server which is running AAC1 with the trace flag 11889, right. Okay, so this one is about run server file, about the AAC, and about the backup. Backup I have already showed you. You have to use -m in case you want to use more shared memory, right. Now let me show you interface file. How does that look like? Right now we are in install, right. So let us go to opt Sybase. Okay, so you can see your interface files. So this will actually contain the server host name and the port number, IP or host name, and the port number of that. So in case of replication, you will have an entry here for the Sybase application server as well, and for application server interface file, you will have host name or IP plus port number of the primary server as well as of secondary server. So if you have MSA, you have multiple target. So on the rep server, you will have host name or IP of both. Like if you have multiple target, you will have 2-3 secondary servers. So you should have IP or host name of all the target server as well as of your primary server, right. If you have PRS, SRS, like primary rep server, secondary rep server, so primary will contain detail of the primary like server, of the primary AAC server, and the IP address or a port number of secondary server, and secondary rep server interface file will contain the details of primary rep server and details of the all target server. So that is how it works. Okay, so this is about the interface file. Now binary, so these are binaries here. Let me show you some more directory which is very useful in case of like for a DBA. So let me show you first like initialization, and so let me go to this path. Okay, so we are in the AAC. So now here we'll go to bin. Okay, so these are binaries. So you can see everything will be here. So you will have start server, the one that we are using before to start our server, right. Then you will have server build and server build using resource file. Okay, SQL upgrade. So basically all the utilities will be stored, will be located here. Update AAC, then I mean most of the thing which we use, it will be stored here, right. So I can go through each of that, but most of the binaries are stored here, right? So this is one important directory, so you can do pw. This is one of the important directory, binary, right? Then let us see what is the next one. So this one we covered, right? Now let us see the script. So script is also important. So this script will actually contain your install master. So when we do upgrade and all, sometime master database doesn't get upgraded, so we should run this script install master. And if you want to install something, for example, you want to enable auditing, you should use install security. If you want to configure dbcc database for the maintenance job, extended maintenance, you should install this database. Okay. So likewise, and this no pubs3, pubs2, which is sample database, which is given by Sybase or SAP, so you can use that also for the installation. So basically, these all things are script. If you want, you can just like you can do head -20 and let us see install security, right? So it will give you what all commands it has, right? So paste, and you can see what all things are there. Okay. So this will be there, and then it is giving the version, and then how do you start. So it will ask you to define certain thing, and then based on that you can run the command, right? Okay, let me take the next one. So this is resource file that I showed you how to use the utility or the no binary for the for upgrading, right? So that was here inside the binaries. So that is, you can server build and server build using resource file. So that will be stored here. It will give you sample. Okay, so you can check the sample resource file, how does it look like. So for each of that, it will give you one sample file, like how it should really look like. So you can see SQL upgrades sample file is there, server build file is there, then server build backup file is there. So all of that, even for HADR, it is giving the sample file how it should look like. So you can just do cat and see what all things are there. So this is how it should be created. This is how it should be changed. So these all things, the first part should not change. You have to give the parameter here, like what is the password of SA, new config, do add server. So you have to specify all the argument one by one, and then you can do your build of server. Okay. So this one is covered, this one is covered, this one is covered. Now let's go to sysam. Okay, so this is also important. Let's not copy it. Okay, so here you will have the property of the ASE. Okay, so this is very important when you have to apply the licensing. Okay, so what is the type of licensing? You can see here LT, CP, then you will have CU and all that. So enterprise edition and other thing that should be specified here, and some other thing about the SMTP host, port and all that. So this is also important and not very frequently used. However, it is used in the beginning when you are installing the Sybase or commissioning a new server, right? That's when it is important. So when we talked about the license type, let's go and talk about the license also. So that is here. So that also will cover sysam. Now let us see the sysam. This was small one, and now we'll go into the cap sysam. So here you will have detail about the server. So when you ask license file from SAP, then they will ask you to run some utility from here, so that they will have information about your server. So if you run this, you will get the information about how many cores are there, how many processors are there. So based on that, they will calculate how many cores of licensing you need, and again depends on what type of licensing you have procured from them, right? So this is something which is going to help them for generating your license, and then you have to keep the license file in one directory that I will show you now, which will be here. So it's in the same directory, one level up. Okay, so you have licenses here. So this is where your license file will be kept, .lic file. I don't have license because I'm running in my local lab, okay, but in your environment you will have one .lic file which will be stored here, okay. Any file which is .lic, it will read here, right, and it should contain all the detail about your licenses, which will be read in the beginning of starting the server. When you start the server, it will look for that license here only, okay. That's how it works. So you can see pwd, okay. Now let's go to bin, okay. So this one I have already showed you previously. Licenses is done. Now OCS is something important too. Okay, so here you will have the utility that we use very frequently, like ISQL, BCP, and some other thing like DSEdit. Then you have DSCP. So basically we use DSCP for editing the interface file, DSEdit and DSCP, okay. The one thing which I missed to mention, that was in the binary, that was DDLGen. Yes, so DDLGen is something which is very important, and we will cover that in one of our session. So this is very much used when you want to generate DDL for any table, for any database, for any index, for any database device, or any constraint, whatever things you want, you can generate DDLGen using this utility, right. So that is how it works. Okay, so I think I covered everything which was promised. Let me just take a look at it. Sybase server, backup server, yes. Run file I showed you. Interface file, yes. Binaries and its location. So yes, so we covered all the aspects of it, and also I showed you how do we use different options for starting the ASE server, right. So I showed you -m single user mode, trace flag, and how do we use the forgot password, and how it is displaying the password on the console, and it doesn't write in the Sybase error log. Okay, so that is all for this session. So we'll record another session very soon. Okay, yeah, thank you very much.